So we're here at Gallagher Guitars today with a couple of very special guests that we'll get to talk about and talk to a little bit.
Yeah.
Josh Rinkel is here and Laura Orshaw.
Howdy, everybody.
From the Po Ramblin Boys.
That's right.
Po Ramblin Boys and Gal.
That's the gal.
Yep, always rambling.
Yep.
And we're here actually talking about something really important to us, and I think important to you too from the way you've been responding to all this.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is we're announcing the Josh Rinkel model Gallagher guitar.
Yep.
Which we have two models of, a signature edition, and then also our standard edition too.
Yeah.
And to be able to talk about this guitar, I saw today the inspiration behind what you brought to us. And so to talk about it includes you coming to us and saying, hey, I want you to build a guitar, and this is what I want it to be like.
Yeah.
You want to say a little something about that?
Yeah, there's a guitar that I had. It was my first ever good guitar, and like a fool, I sold it. And from the time I had that guitar, some of my preferences had changed. You know, I used to be a rosewood guy, and Jeremy's going to get a kick out of this.
Okay.
But now I'm a mahogany guy. And it had just a Sitka top on it, and I prefer a Adirondack top now. And I've always liked sunburst, and I like unique sunburst. Well, the guitar that I'm speaking of was an amber tone sunburst. It was a Martin HD 28V with amber tone sunburst, and I done everything I could to make that guitar not look like a Martin. And it's just nothing against Martin. I just wanted to be different, you know.
Yeah.
So I put an oversized pick guard on it. I put some different tuning keys on it that had white buttons, and I had some girl at a car show one day that does pinstriping paint some letters across the top of it, and people asked me all the time what that guitar was, but like I said, like a fool, I sold the guitar, and the person that I sold it to recently put it up for sale, and so when he put it up for sale and called me and told me that it was sold, I thought it was gone forever. And a very special person to me actually bought the guitar back,
Man.
and gave it back to me.
How about that?
But when I come to you and wanted to build a custom guitar, I had that guitar in mind. You know, like I said, I tried to make that guitar look different. I took it to my guitar setup guy, and I had him take all the fret markers out of it and replace it with ebony so that you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was designing this guitar, I didn't want any fret markers in it, and I just wanted to make it different. So that guitar was my first good guitar. Was the inspiration for the new Josh Rinkel model Gallagher.
Yeah. Well, and the other part of that story is first you wanted to come to us and say, this is the guitar I want. We also knew something about how you played.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not a finger-style guitar player.
No. I got a heavy hand.
Heavy hand.
I'm hard on guitars, man.
Yeah. Well, you break them in.
Yeah.
You break them in.
I either break them in or I break them.
But because knowing how you played and because also you were going to be using it in Po Ramblin Boys, we'd had some experience with some other artists, and we changed the bracing a little bit in the sense of we added a little more mass to it. We want it to be a little firmer and stiffer so that you wouldn't have any kind of issues with feedback or anything, and have a good punch too with that Adirondack. So how do you think we did?
I think you done great. It's one of the more stable guitars I've ever owned and I really noticed it as far as like the in and outs of traveling and touring on the road.
That's the way to test it, right?
Being in and out of trailers and vans and buses and airplanes, and you know, it really holds up well. I don't have as many tuning issues with it. The top doesn't move as much as other guitars have, and it's all, the tone is always consistent. You know, it's not as finicky as other guitars.
Well, there's some other parts of the recipe, but we'll just keep them between us.
Yeah,
we won't tell everything about that guitar,
That's
but
right.
we did some deliberate things. Because of that, we were also very happy with it, and it's different than anything else we were doing. So then we started talking about the idea of let's make this an artist model. Let's
Yep.
make this a Josh Rinkel model.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that came about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have the standard. The difference being, I'm just going to quickly just talk about the differences.
All right.
That black pick guard, unbound headstock and fretboard,
Mm-hmm.
and closed gear tuners
Yep.
on the standard. As opposed to the signature, we added the white purfling all the way around the fretboard, added binding to the fretboard, and
Yep.
also to the head cap.
Mm-hmm.
And also the pick guard and the open gear tuners.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But the most important part, Laura, is the label. And you'll have to tell about the label and the signature on the label.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you asked me what I wanted to do for the label on it,
Yeah.
if I wanted to have some input on the design for the label, and I love buffaloes.
Yeah.
They're my spirit animal, I guess. And,
Okay.
buffaloes, I love the outdoors. I love to hunt and fish, and
Yeah.
and buffaloes are what sparked the need for wildlife conservation in America.
Okay.
You know, people hunted out the buffaloes for market hunting, and then they realized they were gone, and they realized they messed up. So,
Yeah.
long story short, I don't know. Buffaloes, they really speak to me. You know,
Yeah.
I really like them. I like going out west and seeing them, and so I try to add a little bit of a buffalo into everything I do.
Okay.
So
Well, you gave me a little more story, a little more background to it this time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah. So there's a buffalo on the label, and
Right.
then my signature is on the label of the signature.
We had to
model.
have this big, wide open area in the middle of the label for his signature. He's
Yeah.
got a big signature.
I do got a big signature. I don't do anything small, man.
Those buffaloes need some place to roam.
Yeah,
too, you
that's
know?
right. That's right. Yeah. But
The other thing I want to tell about the background, and you may not know this, Laura, we were at Merle Fest, finally after Merle Fest got back up after the pandemic. I think that was the one right after the pandemic.
Mhm.
Yeah, the first one after the pandemic.
yeah, it definitely was, because there was a lot of, strict protocols for
Right.
for it
Yep.
to be able to happen.
Right.
So that's how I remember when it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the expo tent is at the back area of the main stage area. And so they had done their sound check, and then CJ is strolling through the tent, and he went down and played some guitars. But we had one guitar that was a cream painted guitar.
The cream puff guitar.
The cream puff.
We've named
I
it the
remember.
cream puff.
I
The
remember
cream puff.
this.
Yes.
And he would play it, and he'd leave. He'd come back, he'd play it. He was really thinking about that one. And so then he brings Josh over because he wanted Josh to play it, to see what he thought about it, because Josh is the guitar guy. And Josh goes, "Do you mind if I take it to the bus so I could hear it?" I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead. I don't know this guy at all, So he takes our guitar off to the bus, and he comes back, and CJ says, "Well, what do you think?" And Josh goes, "Man, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. That's a hell of a guitar."
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
So
way to
that
put
was
it.
the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one.
Yeah. I got it here today. I brought it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd love to see that one
Yeah.
again, see how it's doing.
Oh yeah, it's doing
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yours that you were playing earlier, it has really opened up.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
It opened up fast too.
Yeah.
It like every time I pulled it out of the case, it was a different, better guitar.
Yeah.
So and it was already great from the start. So
Yeah.
it amazes me every time I play it.
So I'd be interested in you guys talking a little bit about what's happening with the Po Ramblin Boys too.
All right, we can do that. You want to do some of that?
Well, this time of year, we're
Yeah.
not on the road quite as much. We're gearing
Really?
up for,
Okay.
May, June,
the calm
and
before
then
the
Okay.
storm.
whew,
Okay.
it gets wild in the summer. So we take advantage of this time of the year to try to do some recording.
Okay.
And we've been in the studio with Jim Lauderdale, and we just put a single out with Jim. So we're going to do a full album, Po Ramblin Boys backing Jim Lauderdale, doing his original music, and hopefully some co-writes with the band as well.
Yeah.
So that's been really exciting for us. We're recording over at the Tractor Shed in Nashville.
You mind me asking how that came about?
You probably know more of that story, Doug.
Yeah, we me and Jeremy are huge Ralph Stanley fans. We cut our teeth on Ralph's music when
Yeah.
we were growing up and learning. And I remember we used to sit in the back of his dad's tour bus and just like binge listen. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Binge
it,
listen.
I know what you mean.
To
Yeah.
Ralph Stanley. And then we just went through every CD we could that we had of Ralph's and tapes. That was when you listened to stuff on tape because you
Yeah.
had to. And then we would listen to the Ralph Stanley and Jim Lauderdale CD. And then, we were younger then. We were probably 12 and 13.
Okay.
And we listened to Jim Lauderdale and Ralph sing She's Looking at Me, which is this funny kind of novelty song. And we would just sit there and laugh and laugh and laugh, and then we'd sing it and play it and laugh some more. So I might have this wrong. I don't know. We were at Merle Fest the first time we played Merle Fest in 20.
Everything happens at Merle Fest.
Yeah. First time we played Merle Fest in 2018.
Okay.
We just asked Jim if he would want to come up on stage with us and sing
Really?
She's Looking at Me. So
Unrehearsed.
unrehearsed. And it
Come on out,
shows.
Jim.
You could tell it was unrehearsed, but it was a blast.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he loved our music and
Yeah.
loved what we was doing. So we've played a couple shows with him where we backed him, and then he finally
Okay.
just said, "Hey, let's make an album together."
Yeah.
So that's how all that came about.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Jim is a character. Yeah, but
Yeah. Colorful.
yeah,
At least.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've also been over in Sevierville, Tennessee, working on some singles to put out in between time of our
Okay.
next record. So we've been doing that with Dave Maggart at Sound Biscuit Productions.
Okay. Right.
in
I saw that.
Sevierville. So Dave has kind of been our home base for recording since the band started. We recorded one album before we met Dave, but everything that we've done since then has been at Sound Biscuit Productions over in
Okay.
Sevierville. So we love Dave to death. And
So another one's in the works.
some singles
Okay.
are in the works to hold
Okay.
us over, but yeah, we're in the process right now of gathering material for a new
Yeah.
full-length album, and people can be looking for that sometime in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not going to say spring, summer, or fall because
You never know,
You never
right?
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Kind of like guitar building. I was telling you, like, we went through the shop today, and we had one almost to the point of getting ready to set it up. We had a little something in the finish,
Yeah.
So it never quite goes according
Yeah.
to plan.
I'll say fall 2024 and hope it comes out in the spring.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing too, the music that you do, it just really hit a good nerve with folks, didn't it? People have really responded well to you.
And we've been lucky.
Well, you've just got something going on,
Yeah.
And somebody asked me recently about what kind of music. Is it newgrass? I said, no, man, this is the real deal bluegrass. But they do have tattoos.
Yeah. With our music, we want to play things. CJ had a great saying a while back, and I don't know if he come up with it on his own or if he got it from somewhere else. I think he come up with it on his own, but he said a tree can't stand without its roots.
Mm.
So we want to make new bluegrass,
Yeah.
but we want it to be identifiable to
Yeah.
what bluegrass really is,
Right.
to the roots of the music.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I do a lot of writing, and I'll try to write songs that sound like they're 100 years old. And like I wrote one the other day called "Lonely Pine" that sounds like it could have been an old ballad passed down from generation to generation. But then I try to write songs like "Old Santa Fe." We actually just made a demo of that one.
Yeah.
But I try to write songs like that have a little bit of a newer flavor to it, but we can incorporate some of the traditional bluegrass style into it. Like Old Santa Fe, a country band could take that song and do it, or we could strip it down, do it acoustic, and put Jeremy's, driving banjo behind it, and it's going to sound like a good traditional bluegrass song.
Okay. I missed that part. I didn't know that was your original.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one we had to do
In-
3 times because I kept messing
including the break. Including the break. That's yours. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got time. Would you want to do a portion of that right
Yeah.
now?
We can do that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
You want yours?
No, I'll play this one right
You'll
here.
play. Yeah.
So many choices.
We know where that one's going.
Can I tell where this one's going?
I think so.
Yeah. Denny Johnson, if you're listening out there, this is your guitar. So since I told the story about my D28 that I sold that guitar to Denny.
Yeah.
And that guitar is what struck up mine and Denny's friendship. We were playing the same gig, and he just kept on looking at me. And then he'd kind of look back, and then he'd look at me again. And then he finally came up to me. He's like, I can't wrap my head around the sound that's coming out of that guitar right now.
Yeah.
So then we got to talking, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and then he would come out and stay at CJ's house some, and then he'd go out on the road with us a little bit. And so that guitar is how mine and Denny's friendship started. I sold him the guitar, and the reason that he put the guitar up for sale is so that he could buy this.
Full circle.
So everything comes full circle, I guess. All right, this is Old Santa Fe. I'll try to strip it down a little bit and do a shorter version of it. You ready?
Can we start it or you?
You go ahead.
Okay.
The rain beats hard on the boxcar. The tracks are foggy tonight. I don't know where I'm going or where I've been. Looking for a place I can hide. Looking for a place I can hide. Engineer, can you take me where I'll never be blue? I've lived a life of hard times and dreams that didn't come true. Can you roll a little farther? Can I bum just one more day? Let me draw my last breath on the old Santa Fe. Let me draw my last breath on the old Santa Fe. Some folks were born to wander. I wonder if I've ever found my way. Each setting sun serves as a reminder I'll be at rest on my final judgment day. I'll be at rest on my final judgment day. Engineer, can you take me where I'll never be blue? I lived a life of hard times and dreams that didn't come true. Can you roll a little farther? Can I bum just one more day? Let me draw my last breath on the old Santa Fe. Let me draw my last breath on the old Santa Fe.
Sweet. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Man, you knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, it sounds good. You know, I was listening to yours earlier, and it's just become so rich from playing it. That one already sounds good, but it's got to open up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's going to.
yeah,
It's good when they're already good before they open up.
yeah. We try to make everyone a great guitar.
Yeah. This is a great one.
Yeah.
It's already got a home, people. Calm down. We got more though.
We do have more, and you saw a couple more in the works back there, and we got some more on the list to build. Let me mention that this guitar also has a place, but it's a temporary home.
Yep, that's right.
because you've offered to take this on the road with you to your shows
Yep.
and have it available for people to see and play.
Yep.
So you've got a new band member.
There we go.
There we go. Got another one
Yep.
going to hit the road for you.
That's right.
Gonna have his own bunk on the bus, you think?
Maybe. I'll be excited to get out and start showing it to folks.
Yeah. And playing it and opening up a little bit
Yep.
too. That'd be good. If Josh what?
Design the whole guitar.
Well, it's a collaboration. You came
Yeah.
with ideas about the vision you had for it.
Yeah, I think I took like your all's basic dreadnought style guitar. What do y'all call it?
The G50.
The G50, and then I just kind of added what other appointments I wanted to it, like the bound peg, the bound fretboard and the bound peg head, and the no fret markers on the neck. And I actually originally wanted a black pick guard, like this one over here has, but then he showed me one of these pick guards, and I liked them so much that we went with both.
Yeah.
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 So, and what else? The sunburst. I had a specific sunburst in mind based off some of the other sunbursts that I've seen y'all do.
Yeah.
And I like unique.
That's the original
That's
one
the
here.
original one right there.
And you
Yeah.
also made the point, you saw each of these and said, well, every sunburst's a little different. But these are hand built
Yep.
and they're sprayed by hand. They're not done by a computer. And so everyone's going to look a little different. It's going to look like a handmade guitar.
Yeah. That's
That's not a bad thing.
And I've met everybody that makes these guitars, so that makes it even more special. It's people that make them and not machines. So I love
Well,
that.
it reminds me when you came by and had a visit recently, and you had a friend with you, and I met your friend, and we're taking him to the shop talking about it, and we pulled out one of the ones we were working on back there, and the name inside was Dennis, and Dennis is looking at it, and it didn't even register with me that was Dennis's guitar. It took me a
Yep.
minute.
That's
So that
right.
was fun too.
Yeah.
And it made a difference for him too to come and meet the guys. And in fact, I think he had a little input then about the finish.
Yep.
What he
yeah.
wanted.
He decided on some different things, and Denny wanted one from the get go, but once he came here and seen the shop and met the guys, it was totally different for him. He had to have one.
Yeah.
Like it was almost, he said, like a spiritual connection to the instrument. I'm a firm believer that instruments have souls and can connect with people, and Denny said he felt it that day.
I appreciate that because we think of it that way too. We're really putting ourselves into these guitars.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, one other thing I'll say. It's been a pleasure to get to know both of you. And Josh, you and I have had a chance to get to know each other a little more. And it's just been great. And you're a great guy.
Thanks,
And
man.
it's
Likewise.
been nice.
Yeah, it's been a great experience getting to know you as well, and just getting to. I never thought I'd have an instrument with my name in it.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure if I deserve it, but
You deserve it.
y'all done a great job with them. So I'm excited to get them out there to the world and see who wants to take one home.
Okay. So be looking for the Po Ramblin Boys and the Josh Rinkel models too.
Yeah.